And so today we're going to be doing the passenger side wheel bearing. As you can already tell, I already tossed up the caliper. That only requires an 18 mil bolts just on the caliper bracket, and then you can just flip it up. Then we're getting a lot of squeaks in the front. So on the driver's side, I already did the wheel bearing on that side, replaced the CV axle, and then also got a new diff as well. That was expensive. I don't have any footage of that, just because I wanted to knock it out, get it done. So I'll show you the wheel bearing that came out of the driver's side. It's much worse than this one. Like this one, you can just barely hear it. And I got the old one for the driver's side right here. So give me a second. Alright, so this one is the one from the driver's side. And I actually just replaced this like not even 2 years ago. Maybe 2.5 years ago now. But, you know, use my old rotor, or use my rotor. So I can show you how bad this bearing was. Like, it's turning. Like, this thing is, it was terrible. Most of my noise was actually coming from that. Like I said, this was a stupid brand. Yeah, the Master Pro. There's the part number. Of course, it was out of warranty. So I would suggest, if you have the extra money, to buy the better wheel bearing at the parts store, or test your luck on Amazon. But, you know, fortunately, so I'm going to be sticking in on this side. We'll just see how long they last before I have to replace them again. So I'm going to go ahead and zip out those bolts, take off the axle nut to the CV, and pull this hub out. So get back to. All right, so took off the wheel bearing. 36 millimeter nut on the CV axle. 15s. Yeah, they're 15 millimeter. On all three of those. If you only have one side like raised, to get to these ones on the side, and like the ones on the top, you'll have to turn the wheel like passenger and then driver, take turns like switching it back and forth so you can have access to that bolt on the other side. I mean, it's pretty rusty in there. Oh, it's alright, it's alright. So I'm gonna hit it up with the little wire brush. Oh, and this is the wheel bearing. Well, it wasn't too bad, but probably could have lasted a little bit, but I'd rather just replace it since I have some of the motivation to do so. So I'll go ahead and clean this up and then reinstall it, and we'll come back after that. Alright, we got the new wheel bearing in. We got the 15 millimeter bolts ugga tight. Have no idea what the torque specs are. Ugga are good enough for me for now. So now the only thing left to do is actually put the CV axle nut on. Like I said, it is a size 36. All right, we got the rotor back on. We got the caliper in the bracket. I'm going to put the cap over after I demolished it. It's actually a good little trick that you can do is just put a lug nut on your, obviously on one of your lug nuts, on one of your studs here, and so that way it keeps your rotor straight when you actually go to put the caliper back on. Look up the torque specs. Like I said, I don't I don't know the torque specs on them. I'm sure I actually know, but they're in my notes and I don't really bother looking at my notes right now. But yeah. Now the only noise is the actual going from the pads, just slightly touching the rotor. So seems that the CV axle is actually doing okay. I know the angle looks really bad. It's just when I have it lifted up on a jack stand, it bottoms out the suspension completely. So guess throw the wheel on. I'll take it for a test drive and see if I hear anything.